those of you who've been watching my videos recently, you'll have seen me and my wife took my Saab 900 across to Sweden. We did 2,800 plus miles and the car was great. We had nigh on no issues. Engine management light popped on and then went back off again, and had a few minor coolant leaks. So now that I'm back and I've stopped messing around with some of the other vehicles, I'm going to do a little bit of maintenance to it. So first things first, I'm going to look for these coolant leaks. The way I'm going to do that is by putting a pressure tester on the expansion tank and put pressure in the coolant system and watch where the water comes out. So I've borrowed this pressure tester off Rob here at the farm. Number 20 is Saab fitment apparently. Let's give it a try. So hook this pump up. So one leak straight away is this pipe here. That's one I had a slight issue with on the Euro trip. Then another one which I did not know about over the other side is leaking down the side of the rad. One thing to note when looking for coolant system leaks, so you've got your rad, you've got all your pipe connections, you've got your expansion bottle, you've got head gasket issues leaking water into the cylinders, and don't forget you've got your heater matrix in the car. So there's quite a few places you can look for leaks. So I've just pulled the first pipe clip off, the first leak, and you can see where it's basically just been stripped. It's not tightening up anymore. Right, Rowena's here doing something for the UAS. You'll see that in a future video. I'm just draining some of the coolant out now. I've replaced the Jubilee clip on that side. I'm happy that's gonna have solved it. Took the pipe off here. I don't believe that's the issue. I do believe it is the fan switch. So take it out. It's probably got a fancy fibre washer, which I do not have. I don't know. Got an aluminium. Touch of PTFE tape, I'm thinking, to solve this. Right, that's wrapped in the direction, so it should thread itself on, if anything. Come on, baby. And just because I'm ditching that type of Jubilee clip and going to like a fuel hose type clip on this top pipe, and I'm going to chop the end of it off. In an ideal world, I'd replace the whole pipe, but I haven't got one. So these are one of the best tools I've bought. These hose cutting pliers. Look at that. Bye. Right, this has been on a good 15 minutes now. The pressure's not dropping off and there's no water dripping out. So, mission success. Because it's just pure water in it at the minute, I thought I'll drain the water back off a couple of litres and top it up with antifreeze. And as you can see from my glasses, I decided not to let the pressure out first and just pulled the pipe off to speed the process up.
That was easy. No, taking that thing out.
Well,
the thing that holds the iron in.
Guns like this, everything's easy.
You look like an overgrown child. This is one of the well-travelled oil filters that we picked up as a souvenir from our travels. Goodbye, my lover. Goodbye, my friend. You have been the one. You have been the one for me. Here we have a man in his natural environment. Hating that I'm
being pestered by a woman in a natural environment. Sitting down, doing bugger all, just wink.
No, I'm waiting for you. Always waiting for you.
Right.
I do that, is it? I don't get to work.
Try, yeah, pull the trigger.
Why is he doing that?
That's how it works.
Is that working?
You've got to hold it on longer than that.
That's scary. You sure?
I am most definitely sure. Rowena, yeah, you've not even done
next one.
You've not even done one yet.
Or do I stay on the same one?
Until it comes off, yeah. And then obviously when the last one, obviously, I shall not be using the word obviously from now on with Rowena. Yeah, don't catch them.
I meant to. I was catching.
When you take the last one out, the wheel's going to come off, isn't it?
Yeah, if I hit me in the face.
No, I don't think gravity still applies here. Hold it, push it on.
Is that right?
What's setting it on?
I don't know.
Go for it.
What does that do?
Turn it up.
Right, what do I do with this one?
When you undo it, the wheel is off, yeah?
Are you going to catch it for me?
You got a breath?
It was a bit short in the body. Right.
Chunky in the body. Yeah, when you undo it, the wheel's going to come off.
How do I do that?
Just go for it. Just try it.
No, don't.
Just undo it, the wheel, and then you've got to hold the wheel.
Like this?
Yeah, sure.
It came off.
Yeah?
What do you do with it now? You don't give me clear instructions. You never give me clear instructions.
I just want to say, men just know how to do this, yeah?
No, they don't.
Give me any man.
Multiple men I know in my life who could never do this. You.
It's just natural instinct for a man. I think it is.
Not for all men.
Anyway, that's one of 3 wheels, 4 wheels. Crack on. So I just pulled the old oil filter off. 106,000 miles, March. And then that's when it was fitted last. And this is getting fitted at 110,000 in July. That's actually quite a lot of miles for this car. I don't know how many I do a year. 10,000, something like that. So another thing that's become obvious with this car since the European trip is that on long straight roads you're having to do like a lot of small steering corrections to keep the car in a dead straight line. It feels like play in rear bushes. I've done all the bushes in this car probably about 5-6 years ago, so I didn't really think it could be any of the bushes, you know, being totally shagged because I've changed them all. But I was speaking to someone at the Saab festival, and I'm not sure if he actually mentioned it, but he said something which made me think. He said about, have you ever had an adjustable panhard rod on there? And I haven't. So the panhard rod is this diagonal rod, right? Which goes up from the axle to the car body, and that stops the axle moving laterally side to side. If you think, as you get the suspension moving up and down, because the panhard rod is at an angle, you get a small amount of axle movement side to side. Typically, because it's at a very shallow angle, you don't get much. But if you lower the car or increase the suspension height, that panhard rod is then trying to push the axle over further, one way or the other. So what you do when you lower a car with a panhard rod, you cut it and you put a threaded section in, and you have an adjustable panhard rod to get it back the length you need. Well, this car has sat at various different suspension ride heights over time, and I never did an adjustable panhard rod. It didn't really occur to me. I knew about them, and I didn't really give it any thought. So I've been driving around. I've recently raised the suspension on it 6 months ago, something like that. Before that, it was sitting lower. So I'm thinking, I've squeezed the bushes in the panhard rod for years. Now I've lifted it back up, and there are a bit of slop in them maybe. Either way, it could be right, could be wrong. I'm going to fit poly bushes to the panhard rod, and hopefully that'll solve my suspension, my steering twitchiness issue. It's not twitchiness, it's a small amount of adjustment to keep it going in a straight line, so hopefully. Right, I've undone the bolts of the panhard rod. I'm going to use my transmission jack to lift the axle up so there's no load on the panhard rod, and then I'm going to pull it out and swap the bushes over. So this is the body side. And then the axle side. Definitely do a change. So typically these new ones will just push in by hand. And that's it. B for body side. And this side is the axle side. So new poly bushes fitted to the panhard rod. I've nipped the bolts up and I've backed them off half a turn so they're not fully pinched up. Drop it down to the floor so it's at normal ride height, and then I'm going to nip the bolts up. So I did the bushes, engine oil and filter, and the coolant leaks, and that was yesterday. And today I've actually got to be somewhere for work 270 odd miles away. So I thought I'd do the last little bit of footage on my drive up there saying how awesome the bushes are and it drives amazing now. And I do think the bushes have sorted that. But I've only done 45 miles away from home and it has broken down. And I don't know, I'm not 100% sure if the turbo is dead or if it's just popped the head gasket. I'm going to try and start it up now. Oh. Head gasket. It's on 3 cylinders. I don't know why it's done that. Well, I've had it with 9000s before. The head gaskets eventually let go just because of age, and when you take the head off you can see the head gaskets all falling apart and like perished. So oh, it let go pretty quickly, and the temperature didn't go up. It was driving lovely, and then it just started billowing smoke out and misfiring, and then I pulled over.
That